All right, so today we're going to be installing Dometic roof vent covers. Not this one, because that one's already installed. Now, these are very similar to the maxx vent covers that have been out for quite some time. But naturally, they're a little bit different. They come already taken apart. You have to build them. But they made this vent at least removable for inspection and maintenance, so that's a good thing. Here's the main body of it. There's the instructions, the brackets, the hardware, and that's the bug screen. So the first thing we have to do is build the vent. So we're going to cut the zip tie loose, separate our instructions. Inside, get the hardware packet, and get the instructions right there. Now we will be installing this on an older, fantastic vent, but you can install it on a normal 14x14 or unpowered roof vent. Now we could use the instructions right here if we wanted to, but I'm going to tell you it's not that useful. In the package, we're going to open it up and find 2 push pins. They look just like that. They're body pins. We call them Christmas trees sometimes because of the ribbed appearance of them. The screen right here has a bend on it. It's just going to slide in right here. And it's hard to see down there. There's a slot. And then there's a tab with some tabs built on it. It's just going to pop down into there. Very simple. And then that push pin that we just found, it's going to feed into there. And just be pushing it through to the other side. Just like that. We'll do the same thing on this side. All right, we're halfway done. Now they have this bug screen right here, the container right there, and you'll notice it's got rounded or radius edges right there. There's also these clips on this side, so it's all pretty straightforward. The radius edges are going to feed down into it, the vent behind the screen there. Until it fits in at the base, and then those clips over here, just pop them through. Look at that, it's now built. So now what we're going to do is take the built vent cover, put it down over the top of the vent itself. I did have the vent lid closed, and don't forget the hinge side is the front, the angle side should be on the hinge side. I like to bring this thing all the way back as much as I can because I want to make sure that the vent lid, when it opens, which is back there, it's not going to get hung up on any of the mechanism back here. So I do like to push it back a little bit. I'll just take a permanent marker. I'm going to make some little marks on the roof here for all the available places where I can put the slot or the hardware. And I'm just going to pull this back off again. And now we just have to install these base plates. And these have a pin or a captured pin on them with that one-way push-on washer, but they do swivel, and that's just going to be going right around here. It's always lucky when you can line up a mounting screw hole to the flange right here, but obviously there's not. That one's pretty close, but not quite there. It lands right in the middle of those 2 slots. Now you may not be as lucky as me putting this on a brand new roof installation. So I don't have any lap sealant right here. So if you do have lap sealant, you will want to remove the lap sealant where you're going to be mounting. And when I talk about lap sealant, this is what lap sealant looks like right there. Now, like we already covered, unfortunately, these didn't land next to a screw hole. But I think if I can put them right there and right there, they're both on those slots right there. We'll do a test fit. It looks like it still fits, so I can do that where those brackets are. And now using these screw heads as a jig, I can just take a 3/16 drill bit. We're just going to drill through the flange of the vent. We don't want to go into the roof, just the flange. And we'll just go ahead and drill through there. Right, just through the flange only, not into the roof. It's very important that it's a 3/16 drill bit because we don't want the screw to grab on the flange. We want it to grab on the roof below so it stays sealed. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is put some sealant on the hole, but also right here where the flange is going to be covered, because we don't want to give a place for water to leak. Now I'm just using non-sag roof sealant. This stuff just happens to be extreme non-sagging sealant, because we do want to seal over the top of all this, and so we're going to be using a roof self-leveling lap sealant over the top of this. We want to make sure that they interact with each other. You wouldn't want to use two dissimilar sealants at this point. Now is put this back to where it was using that screw head as a register. You said it gives you 4 of these screws. Here's your Phillips, very simple. Look at all that oozing. The sealant's underneath there very well. We'll put the other 3 on the exact same way. All right, pretty much the installation is done, but we can do a test fit first. I'll go ahead and put it in place. Slide it back as much as I can. You'll get these fat washers. They'll go on first. And then you have these push pin, cotter pins, hair pins, whatever you'd like to call them. Just push them on right there. You'll put the other 3 on the exact same way. Just like that. And now your roof vent cover is installed. This is the Dometic fantastic roof vent cover. There's a lot of different ones on the market, but I think every RV vent should have these covers on them. They should come in the factories with these covers on. That allows you to open up the vent lid, whether it's raining, snowing, very, very windy outside, without worrying about water and snow or wind coming in so easily. Now, unlike a lot of the vent covers out there, these have easy to remove toolless hardware on them, so you don't have to use any sockets or wrenches to take these covers back off again, which is a very important feature too, because at least once a year you should be taking this off and inspecting to make sure there's not a problem with the sealant underneath here, or the vent, or the roof itself. So having quick access without any tools when you're on the roof, inspecting the roof once a year, it's very important too. Obviously I still have to seal this roof up. If you were just doing this aftermarket where the lap sealant was already here, you didn't have to touch anywhere other than here, quite honestly, you'd be just fine with the sealant we put underneath. But I still have to seal this up, so let me put some lap sealant on. Important to remember that lap sealant is just liquid flashing. It's not the primary seal. It's just there to redirect water away from the joints we've already sealed underneath. Alright, well that's it. It's all sealed up. Just go ahead and install this for the last time. Put our pins back on. And that's it. That's the installation of this Dometic roof vent cover for an RV. Pretty simple to do. I do want to make sure that you crank the vent lid open, that it does clear before you secure it down completely and you go with that installation. But I know you guys are going to say, what about those 4 push pins that they gave you too? Well, I'm going to call them optional. There's these 4 plugs right there. All you would do is break these off, put the push pin in, and now you can push those on right there. That just conceals those holes if you want to put those in. I personally don't think that they're vital, but now they're installed. That's how simple it is to install one of these Dometic roof vent covers for a 14x14 roof vent on an RV.
Well, that was it, guys. Thanks a lot for joining me on the installation of this Dometic. Thanks a lot for